All right, welcome everyone to this year's event. I'd like to see so many faces, and thanks to the organizer for picking up our session. My name is Georgi, and this is Dani. We're both SAP engineers, but in the context of this foundation, we're co-leading the Cloud Foundry on Kubernetes working group. And as Ram already introduced us, our main project, our main focus is Korifi. And for those of you who don't know about Korifi, it basically gives you the capability to push your Cloud Foundry application on top of Kubernetes, but without leaving the comfort of your familiar CFCLI that we're all used to. So first of all, I'm interested, how many of you were last year? How many of you attended last year's event? Out of curiosity. Oh, a lot of people. Then you probably remember that, yeah, we were there as well. And 1 year ago, we identified a gap in Korifi. And we promised to close that gap. And today, we can say that we fulfilled our promise. As of today, the latest release of Korifi already supports basic support for managed services. And you can go check it out. The last release is nicknamed Manhattan. I will leave it up to you all to figure out why. So try it out, tell us what you think. You have managed service support already. And then another gap that we also managed to close during last year was introducing the pagination concept across virtually all list requests in Korifi. And it might not seem like a big deal, but it turned out that mapping the offset-based paging in the V3 API to the underlying Kubernetes APIs is a major engineering challenge. And if you're wondering why we took the effort, well, imagine what happens in a big deployment with like hundreds or thousands of resources when you list them. You've guessed it, like it's a basically huge response, and it will put enormous strain on the network. And basically, pagination fixes that. And while doing this, we also managed to fix filtering a little bit to optimize it by pushing it to the server side and making Kubernetes do the heavy lifting for us via the use of label selectors. So Korifi is now even more lightweight and even more Kubernetes native. In other news, our Helm chart is now official on the Artifact Hub, so please go check it out. And please give us some stars. We really appreciate this. And last but not least, all these things that we did and many more that we don't really have time to get into wouldn't have been possible without the help of all contributors. So we would like to say our huge thanks to everyone who joined forces with us and helped us get here. Thank you, contributors, and to all of you, we welcome you to join us. Join the Slack channel, comment on issues, open issues, contribute fixes. We really, really highly value even the smallest contributions, and we will always be there to help you if you're lost. So yeah, join us, and next year it might be your faces there on the slide. And now I would like to go back to the main topic for today, managed services. So this year we would like to show you what could be achieved with Korifi and managed services support. And in order to do that, Dani and I are going to put on the hats of a Cloud Foundry app developer and a Cloud Foundry operator. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cody and Crosby.
Thank you. Hi, Cody. I haven't seen you for a while.
Oh.
What are you being up to today?
Hi, Crosby. Really nice seeing you, man. Well, I have just started working on a new project recently. It's for one of our customers. They have a lot of documents, like bank account statements, invoices, receipts, you name it. And what they want to do, they want to upload them somewhere in digital form, and they want to be able to analyze them, pull out numbers, draw graphs, and things like that. And it's a very exciting project, don't you think?
Yeah, sounds interesting. I guess that you're crushing it, right?
Honestly, I'm a little bit stuck.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I can just show you if you have time.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Interested?
Well, that's a little diagram that I drew. This is my customer. They have their documents. They want to upload them. Obviously, they're going to need a document store service where they upload the documents, and then they'll need a relational database where they'll put the analyzed data, right? But there will also have to be something that converts the documents into numbers or like data in the database. And I'm wondering about this one. And while I can do this in the app, I think it will be quite expensive computationally to burn a lot of resources, eventually causing a big bill for my customer. And I've been wondering how to go about this one, and I started playing with serverless functions. And I have to say, this is really impressive, and it's really a good fit for my case. Because imagine my customer is uploading a document to the document store. Then I can analyze the document. The function is triggered. It produces the numbers. I put them in the database. And then the function goes back to sleep, thus saving a lot of money to my customer.
Sounds reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, you might think so, but the problem is that our Cloud Foundry Cloud Foundry platform doesn't offer anything like a serverless service. So I'm really stuck.
Well, I think that it might be your lucky day today. I have something that you might find interesting. Are you interested?
Oh, sure, of course. Let's go ahead.
Okay, have you heard about crossplane?
Yeah, I have actually. It rings a bell, but I'm not really sure what it is. Can you tell me something more?
Well, crossplane is a thing on Kubernetes that allows Kubernetes users to create certain crossplane resources. And once they're materialized by crossplane, various chain of providers, they end up as instances on your hyperscalers, for example, Google Cloud, AWS, Azure, so on and so forth. So why don't you just use crossplane and their serverless capabilities?
Interesting. So are you saying that the way I have been creating my, say, Lambda on AWS, I can just create some resources on the cluster and it will do the heavy lifting for me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's really quite cool. But honestly, Crosby, I'm a bit sketchy on Kubernetes. I'm not very experienced with it. And even if I was, how could I make use of this from the context of a Cloud Foundry app?
That's a very good question, Koji. So, you see, as I mentioned, crossplane is meant to manage your service instances from the context of your Kubernetes cluster. And then you also have Korifi, which is meant to push your applications on Kubernetes. So if you think about it, it all sounds like pieces of one and the same puzzle, but with a missing piece, as you pointed out. And we have been wondering how to fill in that piece. And now that Korifi supports managed services, we thought that we can just come up with a crossplane broker that basically just serves crossplane resources in its catalog. So you would be able to get your services that you want.
Oh, that's a really neat idea, actually. So are you saying this thing is going to pretty much serve the OSB protocol and then create crossplane resources on demand so that I can plug it into my Cloud Foundry?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting, but what services am I going to get out of this?
Well, actually, you can get whatever you want, whatever crossplane supports. See, in crossplane, you create services by declaring in pure YAML. And because they're just YAMLs, we decided that our crossplane broker just pick them up and serve them dynamically in its catalog. I know that it sounds a bit complicated, but if you have time, I can just show around. It's not that complex, I promise.
Oh, sure. I'm really interested. Let's jump. Keyboard is yours.
Okay, as I promised, it's going to be simple, but still I need my two hands, so please hold my mic.
All right.
Okay. Here I have targeted a Kubernetes cluster, which has Korifi and crossplane and all that deployed. And I think that you're today in luck because I've been working on a couple of crossplane services that you might find useful. They're currently not available on my marketplace, so I just service access. I can see that the catalog is empty.
Yep.
In order to get them, I need to apply those crossplane service YAMLs that I just mentioned. That's quite simple, like this. And now I need to touch my broker to force Korifi update its catalog. And now they're here.
Oh, that's really impressive.
Now I can just enable them for you. And they're on the marketplace. Like this. So, yeah, simple. Do you want to give it a try?
Very cool. I'm really impressed already. Like, I always thought that adding new services to the catalog is difficult, right? Writing code, complex deployments, and it just enabled 3 of them in an instant.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the declarative nature of those resources, that you can just declare those without writing code. You course, if you don't consider YAML code. And you can just start using them. Yeah,
right.
please.
May I try?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Okay, I'm already interested in one of these. It says that it's G-Cloud bucket storage. As I said, I'm going to need a bucket for my customer's document, so let me create one of these. It's called storage. The plan is standard.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. It's creating. While we're waiting, can you maybe explain what's going on behind?
Yeah, let's have a look at those YAMLs that I just applied.
Okay.
For that service, you see that this is a standard composite resource definition. This is standard cross-plane thing. It defines a new resource, which is called composite storage instance. This is basically the resource that our broker is going to create when you request the new service instance. And what's important for you is that whenever the service instance is provisioned, you're going to get the credentials with those keys. You can bind them to your app and just start using them. And as per what's going on under the hood, Crossplane for this service is going to create a bucket for us, a bucket on G-Cloud, which you can use to store your documents. And because buckets do not provide convenient APIs to access their content, we're also having a V2 service. This is basically a REST server that provides convenient endpoints for your application, things like download file, upload file, stuff like this. And that's it, really.
Okay.
Let's have a look at our service.
Oh, it's still being created.
Should be ready in a minute.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe the clouds are stormy today, right?
Maybe, like every time I visit Frankfurt.
Yeah, fine weather. Let's give it a little bit more time. Oh, it's ready. Cool. All right. At this point, you said I'm going to get back those connection details, and I'm really curious to see them, so I'm going to create a service key. Cool. All right, there they are. I have a bucket name, looks like a randomly generated unique string, a bucket URL, the API endpoint that you talked about. Cool, Crosby, that already looks promising. I can imagine writing an app that uses that. But let's look what else do you have for me on this marketplace. Okay, I said I'm also going to need a database, and I can see that you have a PostgreSQL offering here.
Yeah.
So I would like to create one instance of that as well. All right, it's in progress. Okay, while we're waiting, let me check my understanding. So if I've got everything correctly so far, I guess here is a definition of the service. It's just an YAML. It defines a new resource kind that's called composite PSQL instance, which is going to basically represent my database on the cluster. And then when it's done, I'm going to get back a DB URL so that I can connect to the database, right?
Well done, Cody.
Cool, that's not that complex anyway. All right, and how did you implement this in terms of cloud resources?
Well, for this specific service, I've decided to go into a different route. Instead of creating resources on the cloud, Crossplane is now just going to apply the standard Bitnami Postgres Helm chart for you, and that's it.
Oh, that's interesting. What cluster is it going to install the chart on?
It's going to be this one, the one that runs Korifi, the broker, and Crossplane.
Oh, really? You can do that. That's quite interesting. This means that I can have a cluster locally on my machine, then I can have Korifi, Crossplane, and some services, and I can start playing already, developing locally.
Yeah, that's correct. You can actually go into the other extreme where you can create your own service that combines resources from various hyperscalers. For example, imagine a service that keeps buckets from G-Cloud and Amazon in sync.
Yeah, that's
that
an
might be
interesting
useful.
perspective, like disaster recovery on another level. All right, let's take a look. Okay, the service instance is done. Once again, I'm going to create a key to see the DB URL. Okay, it looks like I would expect standard Postgres URL. And cool, at this point we have the database, we have the bucket. But do you have maybe something serverless? Because as I said, this is what I think will work for my app.
That would be the third service on the marketplace.
Okay. You mean the storage event?
Yeah.
Cool.
That service is a bit different from the other two. Maybe let's just open the YAMLs and I will explain. This service is designed to register itself as a listener on events on the G-Cloud bucket that you've just created and to run your custom code. Therefore, it needs a couple of parameters. First, you need to specify the bucket name as a parameter. That's the bucket name of the bucket that we just created. Then you need to specify the custom code that you want to be executed whenever something happens on the bucket. You have to package that in a container image. You need to specify that image in the event handler image. And as usually goes with custom code, you probably may want to provide it with a couple of arguments. You can do this with the optional args parameter.
Cool. That
sounds. Maybe you can create an instance.
Sounds exactly what I need, but sounds a bit more complex. I'm going to need your help this time. Okay. Okay, so the service is called storage events, and I'm going to pass these parameters in JSON form. So bucket name, I can already read that from the service key that I just created. So I'm going to just do that. For the image, I guess that's my function. I am not really ready with my customer's code, but I have been playing with a Docker image that knows how to convert common separated values to databases, to database tables. So I'm going to use it. And as a matter of fact, I need to pass a single argument, which is a database URL, where I will write the data. And luckily, we also have this in the second key. So what do you think? Does this look fine?
That should work. Let's try.
Okay. All right. Creation in progress. Again, while we're waiting, maybe you can elaborate on the works behind.
Yeah, let's go back to the YAML again. This time, Crossplane is going to create different resources. First, it's going to create a trigger on G-Cloud. You can think of triggers like event handlers. Whenever something happens on the bucket, it's just going to call a V2 service, which is created below. V2 services is actually the G-Cloud offering for serverless. And what this service does, it's just going to create a container running your container image that you've provided with the second argument, provide it with the additional arguments, and when your custom code is done, it's going to shut down the container so that your customer does not have to pay for it anymore.
Okay, that sounds like exactly what I need. And the instance is ready. So we have the bucket now, we have the database and the serverless function, but how can we check that all of that works together?
While working on those services, I used a couple of apps that are currently deployed here, but they're not bound to anything. The file browser is an explorer of a bucket, while PGWeb is a database explorer, so maybe you can bind them to the corresponding services and give it a try.
Okay, I think I know how to do that. I'm going to do the file browser first. It needs to be bound to the bucket and restart it. And once this is done, I'm going to also bind the database console to the Postgres. All right, first step is done. Okay.
I'm curious how it's going to work. Do you have a sample data that we can actually use?
Sure. While testing the image, I've been working with a simple CSV. It's just 4 lines, imaginary bank transactions, but I think even that simple will be enough in order to put the concept here. So I think I'm going to just use that. All right, apps are running. So if I'm getting this correctly, now I can open up the Bucket Explorer and upload my CSV, right?
Correct.
Let's do that. Upload. Okay, here it is, sitting in the bucket. All looks fine. Let's check out the database now. Okay, yeah, I can see that I have a data table, and it looks like it contains the records from the CSV.
Impressive.
That's quite cool, Crosby. It's really impressive. You have made my day. Now, I guess everything that's left for me to do is to write my serverless functions, and then I can contact my customer already.
Yeah, good luck with it. Just keep me posted.
Thank you, man.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Right. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Crosby, for the great presentation. We would also like to thank to a couple of projects that we used for this demo. The cross-plane service broker from Vision AG. Actually, our own cross-plane broker was based on it. We just introduced the capability of plugging cross-plane resources in its catalog. And also the other two web applications that just made the demo more beautiful instead of just sending curl requests. And now to recap, why is all that important? By leveraging the declarative nature of cross-plane, we managed to just dynamically plug those cross-plane services in our broker service catalog without writing any code. Then we could push our applications and consume those services from the comfort of our familiar CF/CLI. And now we could start mix and matching various, we can start playing by mix and matching various hyperscaler resources into our custom services that best fit the needs of our applications. As you can see, Korifi combined with Crossplane unlocks a brand new universe of opportunities for custom services where the imagination is the only limit. And now it's your turn. If you like what you saw, you can check out our demo repository. Everything that you saw is there. If you scan the QR code, you're going to get there. Please check it out, give it a try, and let's talk about it, either today or online. Thank you all.